Let's get into some shite. You want to get into some shite? I want to get into some shite. Welcome back, Out of Tune people. Thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Rick. I'm going to be your talking guy for a little while. Thanks for hanging out. I was trying to come up with a name for the listeners. So we did this on a couple of the other podcasts that I've been a part of, and it turned out pretty good. And I was trying to come up with a name. There's not a good name for Out of Tune podcast people. So I thought of tuners and toonies. I don't know if you like that. I don't know. I like Achtung. I thought that was kind of cool. Achtung, because it kind of means danger in German, it's like, or attention or whatever. That seemed kind of cool. But when you spell it Achton, it looks weird. People think, I don't know. I just don't know. If you have any suggestions, feel free to send them to me. By the way, we do have a listener line, 678-348-0008. All you got to do is send it there. I'll get it, and then I'll publicize it. Maybe everybody can vote. But you can call that line anytime you want. Leave a message from me, and I'll put it on the podcast. I'll make you famous. That's the only kind of power I have, people. I don't have any power to do anything else, but I can make you famous. At least podcast famous. All right? Boom, in the garbage can. All right, I got my, I don't often, although I have been recently, I know, but I have a little light beer from Miller right here next to me to make sure I don't get parched. Parch is one of those words that it sounds like what it means when you say parch. It just sounds like you want something to drink, and I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to drink right now. Here I go. Boy, it's a good taste. Okay. Are you alive? Are you well? Are you doing good? Did you have any kind of, did you get raptured? So here's the thing. As you know, there's nothing that brings out the superstitious people, the fruitcakes, and their angry God like a natural phenomenon or a natural disaster. Now, when I say this, I'm not in any way making fun of religion in general. Definitely making fun of a certain kind of thing, a certain type of mentality. If you fall into that, okay, come on, come at me. I'm all right. I can deal with it. But I think most people listening to the show don't. You're not in that category, I think. Call the listener line, let me know. Anyway, so I didn't realize that. See, a long time ago, I kind of booted all of the nutcases off my Facebook, and I don't have that kind of interaction, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the crazy people are saying. And I start seeing where all of my somewhat normal friends, nobody has normal friends, my somewhat normal friends are kind of rehashing and restating and addressing what they're hearing on their Facebook pages, which is just crazy, a lot of it. So there's a lot of conspiracy stuff going on out there. And it happens, it seems like, every time that some kind of, it doesn't matter if there's an earthquake, tornadoes, a hurricane, whatever happens. In this case, solar eclipse. And it's just what the solar eclipse. Just the light goes a little dim there, people. But man, these people who have angry gods that are like, they're ready to throw lightning bolts. They're ready to judge the world. It never happened. So apparently today, it was supposed to be we were supposed to have a rapture today. Now, here's the thing. I totally admit, I will admit, I used to believe in the rapture. I was a evangelical Christian. I believed all that stuff. And you get some distance and you start going, wait a minute, that's just ludicrous. Really? People, they're grown, adult, intelligent, somewhat intelligent people believe you're going to get sucked up into the air, rise into the air to meet God, which, by the way, is based on the old, outdated idea that God lives in the air. We've been up there, people. He's not there. Where are you going to go? You're going to just rise and you just keep going like a rocket, and you're going to, can you see this, like, I don't know, what, a couple million people, let's say, going up, and they're just rising, and I don't, maybe let's say that there's a spaceship already up there, and they're doing a little bit of orbiting, and they go around, and then they see this crowd of like a couple million people just rising up. Where are they going? To another solar system? I don't know. That's what happens when you take the scriptures literal. You got to figure out some way to excuse what is said, and what is said was never meant to be taken literal, or it was made to be taken literal by people who didn't have all of the evidence, they didn't know what they were talking about. Back then, they thought the sun went around the earth. That's what they believed. There was no evidence against that, so they put it in the scripture. And now, what are you going to do? It's there in the scripture. You got to somehow excuse it because there are people who believe everything in the scripture holy. I don't know. But people believe weird things are going to happen today. God was going to judge the world, take people home. What do? You pack your bags. Were these people sitting on the porch waiting, and it didn't happen? Like, all right. It's like the Island of Misfit Toys. Like, another Christmas. We're not going home. And it's the same thing. It's like, they told us we were going to be raptured, and we didn't go home. Oh, if Rudolph could take us back. I don't know. I can't remember a lot of that thought process that made me believe that. It's really just somebody just like says that it's happened, and you go, oh, these people, they're the ones who know, I guess, right? They're the ones who've been saying all along that they know. So far, nothing they said has been right, but and there's no proof of anything, but I'm going to believe them. And that's what I did for a long time. If I did believe in a rapture now, which I don't believe either way. It doesn't even make sense. So I don't invest any kind of much mind activity into it. I can't say any because I'm about to. I think now if I believed in rapture, it would just be that we kind of like dissolve into our consciousness, right? I mean, we're not going to rise up into the air. We're going to go into, so the spiritual, like the kingdom of heaven, as mentioned in the Bible, Jesus straight out says it's not here. It's not there. It's not in a location. It's within you. It's your consciousness. It's the life that's in you. That's where heaven is. So why would you go up into the air? Because heaven's not there. It's not up there. It's in your consciousness. And that's nowhere. Do I need to do this Sunday school lesson every week? No, I don't need to. All right. Well, I want to make sure that you're safe and that nothing. You didn't look at the eclipse, did you? Did you get glasses? I've seen it I've seen that movie so many times. What, like a dark circle goes in front of the sun, or the other way around, sun in the moon. What? Okay. How many times do you look at it? I guess if you're young, it's your first time. It's exciting. Look at it. I remember when I was in second grade, teacher made us put our head on our desk and cover our eyes for 1 hour. Nothing scares second graders more than the teacher flipping out and some kind of mysterious thing is happening to the sun. Kids, put your head on their desk, cover your face. Oh my God, what are you going to do? That'll scar a kid. I can remember it. It's one of the things in my elementary school. I don't remember anything from second grade, except I think no, not second grade. I remember the moonwalk. That happened, I believe, around second grade. I remember Kim Morgan sitting right in front of me, second grade, Miss Parrott's class, second grade. And yeah, that's what I remember. I don't remember a whole lot. I remember some spiritual things that happened inside me in second grade. Won't go into that, but still there. But I remember flipping out because the teacher was scared that we were going to look at the sun. And I decided, if I was ever going to look at the sun, even for just a second, because I don't know the workings of an eclipse. How long can you look at it before your eyes get burned out? If you just happen to glance up, you forgot there's an eclipse. I forgot there was an eclipse today, and I was looking at a bird, and I went in front of the sun, and immediately my retina's just dissolved. I don't know, how long are you supposed to look at the sun before you get damaged? Really, no one wants to look directly at the sun for a long period of time unless something's wrong with you. But I figured when I was a kid, I thought, well, just look at the sun with one eye. Because that way, if something happens, you've got another one as a backup. So I feel like that's a genius plan, really. No one ever mentions that. If you've got to do it. If you just got to glance really quick, just use one eye. All right, people, coming up this month, I've mentioned it before. We're on episode 94, by the way, here on the show. And we're fast approaching episode 100, which, I kind of want it to be a big thing. I don't know. Should it be? What? It's the number, right? It's like me. I'm turning, my birthday's this month. It's the number. It's a scary number, but it's just a number. 100. That's a big number. So I'm trying to think, what do I do on a 100 show, episode 100? I don't really know, but at this point, I do. I'm pretty sure I have a special guest for the show. And but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Don't know if I'm going to have a special thing. Probably a beer. Might need to do a beer on the 100th episode. Maybe a special beer. I don't know. But that's coming up. So we're on episode 94. That'll be 6 weeks from right now. I might be able to squeeze in a couple of shows a week again, like I used to do. And then maybe we could get this thing down close to the end of April, around my birthday. That'd be awesome. Betty and birthday, my Betty and birthday. I've talked about it. You know it. You've heard me talk about it. Betty and birthday is you turn the year. Your age turns the same age as the year you were born. So I was born in 1962. I'm turning 62, which is a weird, scary, dumb age. It doesn't make any sense. Because the older you get, I still feel like I'm 22. But people go, no, you're not 22. You're 62. I was watching a video the other day, ASMR video, which I still do. I love. One of my favorite ASMR girls, and she's like, I'm almost 35. And I was like, oh, wow, so young. And then I thought, oh, crap, I'm old enough to be her dad. And more. I could be a dad of a 35-year-old? Holy crap. I mean, I don't need to be anybody's dad, but that's just insane. Grown people, people almost 40. People 40. I could be at 62, coming up 62. I mean, having a child. Some of my friends had children before they were 22, so I could be the parent of a 40-year-old. I could be a grandpa. It's an alternate universe I don't care about. It's like hundreds and hundreds of eclipses happen all at once. Me with all of these little children running around. I don't know what they're all. I just name them after colors. It's like, hey, cyan, magenta, get over here. Because I don't know. I'm not creative. I just come up with colors looking in my crayon box or something. All right, episode 100 coming up. Just be aware of it. I'll warn you before we do it. But the countdown is, in fact, happening. I do want to say, just because I haven't mentioned it in a while, that I have a few little stickers left. A few Out of Tune podcast stickers. If you want one, all you got to do is just promote the show. Just when I put an episode up, just repost it. Just go, check out this podcast. That's all you got to do. I don't ask you to do a whole lot of stuff, but you can do that. And then once you do that, just send me a note. Say, hey, I did that. Here's my address, mailing address. Send me a sticker or two, and I'll do that. That's all it takes. I'm not asking. You don't have to pay for anything. I've already paid for it. Okay? So stickers available. Gary, man, you need more stickers up there. So Gary likes to put stickers everywhere up around the Baltimore area, and I'm all for it. You know, I can't remember if I sent him a bunch. I know this epic disaster stickers. He got a bunch, and Life in a Kilt stickers. He got a bunch. I can't remember if I sent him a bunch of these. I think I did 10 or so, just to plaster around. I hope he didn't put them on that bridge. Oh man, that'd be awful. I sent him some more if he did. That's the other thing, man. I've been reading. I didn't even know people are coming up with conspiracy theories about this bridge thing. Anything just normal happen, regular happen? No, there has to be some kind of government plot behind it. The Illuminati is doing it. The Pope crashed the bridge. He's tired of that bridge. Knocked it down. Pope. All right. It's a fun show, right? I think I'm having fun. I hope you are. Here's something I didn't know. I had no idea about. Should I talk about this? Yes. I had no idea about this. I didn't even know this was a thing. So somebody posted something that showed up on my Facebook feed, and it was like, what are the happiest songs in the world? Happiest songs in the land. Ranked by science. Scientists say these songs are the happiest songs ever. And I was like, oh, okay. I'll read them. I'll see what the happiest song. This is clickbait. I know it. But I'll check in and see what the happiest songs in the land are. So I'm going through and reading them. Okay, yeah, all right. And then it shows up and it says Bob Marley. No, I like Bob Marley. Bob Marley song "Don't Worry, Be Happy" is one of the happiest songs. I was like, oh, really? Bob Marley did a song called "Don't Worry, Be Happy" too. I like the song. I'm okay with the song "Don't Worry, Be Happy," but I didn't know Bob had one as well. So I was like, what? I should know this. What if his song is the same song? All this time, I didn't even realize I'm listening to it, and I didn't even know it was Bob Marley's song. That would be weird. So I should check that out. So I did a search, did a little search, and it showed up. First thing that showed up, video, Bob Marley singing "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I was like, holy crap, I had no idea that he had a song called "Don't Worry, Be Happy," or he sang it. I don't know. I just had no idea. So I go to the video and play it. It's the song we all know, "Don't Worry, Be Happy," by Bobby McFerrin. But they're saying that it was Bob Marley. What? That's Bobby McFerrin, right? Yeah. When did Bob Marley sing this song? Just because it's reggae beat, kind of? You're going to put it into... Bob's the only one you can think of who could do some reggae? So I went again and I checked this out, and I found an article that there's this persistent rumor that Bob Marley is the one singing that song. People don't know who Bobby McFerrin is. And by the way, let me just say, if that's all you know about Bobby McFerrin, you are missing out. Look up Bobby McFerrin. Listen to some videos, listen to some albums. One of the greatest jazz performers, vocal jazz performers, and not just vocal, he's incredible. He's got tons of albums out, tours. He's an amazing person, amazing jazz artist. One of my favorites. Did a great album with Chick Corea a few years ago. But anyway, just listen to some Bobby McFerrin. And that's who's singing that song, not Bob Marley. Marley never did that song. That song didn't exist. I don't think it existed when Bob Marley was still alive. Why are people putting it into Bob Marley's mouth? So that was something I discovered. I didn't know that movement existed. I didn't know that kind of, and people don't care if it's true or not. They just will keep things going. And there were like 5 or 6 videos, and probably more on YouTube, of people saying that that's Bob Marley singing the song. You can't fix it. You can't fix stupid. No, you can't tell people that God's mad and making a eclipse happen. that he's not. They believe what they're going to believe. Superstition and ignorance are married and have children. And a lot of us know their kids. But I don't know. I just, I wasn't aware that this was going on. And I was kind of stunned. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised at how dumb people are, but I was surprised at how dumb people are. I didn't realize that people, how hard is it to Google? I Googled it. Can you not just go? And don't take the first thing, because if you do, you're going to say Bob Marley sang it. And he did it. Bobby McFerrin. All right, on this program, often I have people, I ask people to send me some random questions, and I do three random questions. You can send as many as you want, because I can split them up and read them another time. You feel free, send them to me. You can send them to me through the listener line, 678-348-0008. You can text it to that number. You just leave a voice message if you want. I'm okay with that. If you would rather do an email, rick@outatune.com, OUTTATOON, outatune.com. And send some random questions you'd like to know. It doesn't have to be anything personal about me, just my opinion about it. It's got to be my opinion, though, because I'm the one answering it. But if you want me to answer something, anything, send it to me. Here's 3 for today. If I can read what I wrote. I don't have my glasses near. Here they are. What's the worst color? What's the worst color? I guess just general. The worst color ever invented. Wow. I don't know. I deal with a lot of color. I know. I remember when I was a kid, my brother and I used to talk about mixing orange and green together. That it was like a really ugly baby poop brown, and we hated that look. We used to talk about it all the time. And my brother didn't like anything with orange and green, like a checked shirt that would have orange and green. He didn't like any of that kind of stuff. So he said orange and green together was bad. But I think most colors I like individually. Blues are awesome. I love blues. I would say my worst color would probably be in the yellow spectrum. And I don't know where, though. Where would it be? Somewhere in the yellow. I can't. Maybe I like yellow. I can't think of it would have to be a really gray, dirty color. Like a kind of a dirt. It still goes back to that kind of baby poop brown. You get yellow and you dirty it up and gray it up and you get this muddy look. I don't like that color. That's a nasty color. I could do without it. But most colors I like, I think. I like everything on the greens. I like the green stuff. There's a couple of greens that are kind of, yellowy greens are a little too much for me sometimes. So, I don't know. I guess I didn't answer the question. Sort of did. I did the best I could. All right, number 2, who is your greatest enemy? I don't have any enemies. I don't think. I've got people who have screwed me over a couple times, a little bit in the past. People that at one point I was really mad at. But I don't keep it long. I don't have any. I'm my own greatest enemy. I'm the worst enemy that I have. I do things I know I shouldn't do, and I continue to do them. I should be eating better, and I'm not. But I know that I should. Why? I mean, if it can make me live longer and healthier, I don't. I'm my own worst enemy. I'm trying to kill myself. Holy crap. That's the enemy. That's what an enemy does. They try to kill you. So I'm my own greatest enemy. All right, number 3. Would you want to be immortal? Would I want to be immortal? Well, I would say, and I'm not going to go into it too far. I'm really not. But on a spiritual, kind of metaphysical level, I think we're all immortal. I think the essence of who/what we are never dies. The egoic part of who/what we are, it definitely dies. So who we think we are, what we know of ourselves and who we think we are, will end up in the ground, on the ground, in the ocean, in a fish's belly, something like that. But who we really are, the real spiritual part of us, the essence of who we are, which I will just say is life, the life that we are, the life / consciousness that we are. I think it goes on forever. I just think it goes back into the big pot, the big consciousness pot, and then I don't know if we're reborn, but I just think it all gets mixed in and it gets transferred and pulled back out, and it's just like a big Play-Doh factory. You just constantly, life takes different forms. We're all life forms, but life itself takes the form of grass or a dog or a parrot or my sister. It just constantly moves and changes and becomes different things. And 500,000 years from now, it will be something else. We may not even recognize it now. It was dinosaurs at one point. It's humans now. It could be something else. We don't know. So I just think that, in a sense, I am immortal. I am who I am. But if Rick could be immortal, this guy talking to you right now, I don't think so. I mean, I don't want to die. I don't want the ego to die. I have fun. I enjoy life. I like what I do. I like my wife. I like to stick with her. After she dies, I'm all right. I'll wait. No, maybe I can get a younger. Oh, man. No, I don't want to die. I hope she doesn't hear this podcast. That was a joke. But, no, that would suck. Who wants to live forever? If you didn't age, maybe. Well, what age would you want to be and not age? I would say 35. 35 would be the same age as that ASMR girl. And she was cute. I could be 35. My wife dies and I could end up with that person. This is all just off the top of my head, plus a little bit of Miller beer thrown in. I'm going to shut up because I'll get in trouble. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think so. No, let's keep everything the way it is. Okay. The earth is waiting for my dirt that I can add to it. It's got some things to do with it. It's got some fertilizing and growing plants and giving some nutrition to the trees and the worms. So I'm there. It's waiting on me. And if I try to keep myself too healthy, it'll figure out a way to get me. It's just it's what life does. It's what your body does. Your body is, especially you get to this age, your body, its job is to try to kill you. And you could dodge it for a while, but at some point it's going to get you. It's what it's programmed to do. So get used to that. Did you see that eclipse today? Boy, that was fun. All right. So there you go. What have we got? Quickly. Last week, I did something interesting last week I'd never done before. Last week, I went to the word I'll try to get into, but let's just say it's the final stage of Ramadan. I haven't done that before. And I don't know a whole lot about Ramadan. I know a little bit about Ramadan. It's a fun word, Ramadan. It's very bouncy. It seems like it would be really fun, but it's a religious holiday for Islam, and I don't like saying words because I'm always afraid I'm saying I don't know enough to know if I'm saying things right. But it's a Muslim holiday. It's a Muslim holy day. And the holy period, actually, I think Ramadan lasts for a week, I think, maybe a month. I don't know. It's a holy, just like Easter. We have Easter. Ours is 3 days because we got things to do. And we can't stretch it out. They go for a while. They do fasting. We don't, in Easter, there's not a lot of fasting because we like our Easter food. We like our food. We don't want to fast. So this part, what I went to was called Iftar. Iftar, Iftar. It's the ending of Ramadan. And so what happens is, I think it's after sundown, after believe it was after 6. Now this happened. My wife works in a hospital. This happened at the hospital. A lot of the doctors there, a lot of the staff, a lot of the nurses, a lot of the medical professionals are Muslim. They observe Ramadan, and were participating in it. And they wanted to do a thing at the hospital. So in the cafeteria, the big eating room, also known as the cafeteria, they made a bunch of food, tons of food. And they invited me, a heathen, to be there and eat their food. I was afraid I was going to soil the atmosphere. Because I don't know what I didn't cover my head. I didn't do. Do you take shoes off? Do you put on? Do you have to wear certain clothes? I don't know. I don't know all those kind of things. I just showed up with a hungry belly, and I wasn't even fasting. I hadn't eaten since 2 that day, and but I was ready for more. And these people hadn't eaten all freaking week, I think. I do think it was a week. So I couldn't complain. And here's the thing. They all made the food. They made the food for Ramadan. Can you imagine making delicious food when you're starving because you've been fasting? What is the temptation to stick a piece of chicken in your mouth? Stick a marshmallow or a piece of pie? Who's going to know? Huh? God's working on he's over here planning the eclipse. He's not going to look. So, everybody stood around. They had a speaker. He was just filling up time until the bell dinged at 6 o'clock. And as soon as it went off, everybody grabs 3 dates. Now, it's not like the dating game. Not 3 dates like that. The dating fruit. And they put them on the table, and everybody grabs little sugar dates, and they have 3. They end their fast with 3 dates. And then everybody digs in, and there's food, man. There was so much food, and it was so good. I tasted stuff I had never eaten before, and I want to eat again, and some stuff I've heard about. There was a lot of food that, so I don't know a lot about culture, and I know that Muslims come from, every country has their own Muslim society, culture. And so it's a very rich culture, but there are some, just like a Jewish holiday, there's some traditions that bind all Jews, no matter who you are, where you are. There are certain things you do, certain things you like to eat, that you put on your plate. If it's Passover, you have certain things. And it's the thing that kind of binds everybody together, It's like Christmas, you want dressing and stuff. Thanksgiving, you do turkey and all, So there was some stuff that was Indian, I felt like. A lot of Middle Eastern stuff, but Indian food, dal, a lot of rice dishes, tons and tons more meat based dishes than I needed, because I need none. But I think there was some goat in there, some traditional stuff. But I did get enough vegetarian stuff, which was pretty darn good. And then the desserts, holy crap. I almost killed myself eating dessert for Ramadan. I don't know. Has anybody ever committed Ramadan suicide by eating dessert? Because I almost did. And there was somebody made a Reese's pie, which is, 2 bites. It was so rich, but so good. Reese's pie. Man, I can't tell you. I don't even have to tell you how good, And then somebody made something, I don't know what it's called, but it was so good. It was I never heard of a rice-based dessert, really. My mother used to make a dish. She just called it rice and pineapple. I think somebody calls it, is it like heavenly hash or something? Some people put coconut in that. But it's just rice with pineapple in it. And we used to eat that. That was like a little dessert, sweet rice. And this was kind of the same thing. It was rice, but it was red. And I get pomegranate? I don't know. They put some kind of red stuff in it. And it had some pistachios, probably honey, and then some spices. Oh, it was so good. It was a great dessert. It wasn't too sweet, but it was definitely a dessert. And it's like, man, I would eat this every day after a meal. When you kind of want a little dessert, but you don't want something too sweet. You don't want that Reese's pie. So you get the little rice dessert, and I would eat that whole thing. I got to get the recipe. And then the crispy rice. Man, Somebody made, so you can find recipe online. A lot of dishes have this where you make the rice and then they let the water boil out, and then the rice at the bottom of the pan gets really crispy, and then they take that out. They put butter and stuff in it, and you eat that. That is the best thing in the world. Crispy rice. Oh man, I want some. My wife says she's going to make it. She almost ate all of it, so we had to stop her. She says she's gonna make it for us. All right, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to save that for another podcast, another episode. We will talk about that. Okay, we'll talk about that later. But I do want to thank you for joining me. I know my schedule's been weird, and I'm keeping it going though. But I wonder if I could get 2 in a week again for a while. That'd be kind of nice. I feel like when I was doing 2 a week, it kind of kept things moving. It was harder to come up with topics, but I kind of felt like it kept things moving. So I might see if I could kind of ease back into that. We'll see if we can. But I would like to hear from you. Tell me how you're doing, how your holidays went. If you survived the rapture, have you been raptured? What's the post-rapture conditions like for us people who got left behind? I would like to know, is there any hope for us? Can we get there with you? I haven't noticed anybody missing yet, but I have to think that maybe it either didn't happen or I just don't know any good people. I really don't know if I know anybody who would be raptured. I won't be raptured. I don't even want to be raptured. Could you imagine sitting somewhere and then all of a sudden you just start rising into the air and you're like, oh no. Can I finish my sentence here? All right. I'm being stricken with rapture punishment cough. Oh no.